Maybe 2023 is the year that you've decided to do more live events. And with that, you're gonna need to start ordering product in bulk. Is print on demand a good option for ordering in bulk, and should you do it? Let's talk about it. Basically, when you use print on demand services like Printify or Printful or Amazon KDP even, you can buy in singles. You can buy sample orders of things if you want to. You can obviously have your customers buy those things and they get printed or produced on demand. The problem being, like, what if you wanted to buy multiples of something? Like, say I wanted to buy multiples of this phone case and turn around and sell it in like a live environment. It's definitely possible, and you don't necessarily have to use print on demand services. You can actually buy in bulk in other ways, in other services, but you might have to buy much larger quantities than you would with a print on demand service, because even with a print on demand service, you buy in bulk. Yes, if you do decide to use a print on demand service to buy in bulk, you're probably going to still pay a lot more than you would if you outsource that to a much bigger printer that can do much larger bulk orders. You probably pay a lot less per unit that way, but maybe you don't want to drop $1,000 just to get 100 different units or 500 different units or however many units you wanted of these things. Maybe you don't want to drop that much cash just on this thing that you can't even prove that you're actually going to be able to sell yet. So in 2023, I am going to be doing more live events. I am going to be selling my art like this, or smaller pieces really, but I'm also going to be selling the things like the phone cases and this is scrapbook pages of things that I've made, the journals and all that stuff, and all the things that I make via print on demand, I'm going to be selling at these events. So the question then becomes is, what products are we talking about? What services are we using? And if it's even a viable solution, because it's quite possible that you might be able to get a reasonably good price for these using print on demand, but then you want to turn around and sell it at a decent price, but the price margin might not be enough to make it even worthwhile. I have this gratitude journal called Today Was Totally Rad. And basically, you go through it day by day and you just kind of write down all the good things that happen, the challenges you might have, and what you plan on doing for the next day. And it's kind of cool. It's just something that if you want to, kind of give some credit to the cool things that happen in your life on a daily basis. But if I buy, let's say, 60 of these from Printify, I'm gonna have to buy, obviously, each unit, which is gonna cost me around $7 to $8, depending on exactly which one I use. I'm also gonna have to compensate for shipping, and if I'm going to get any kind of discount on that shipping, which is where they apply the discounts, I'm gonna have to buy at least 60 of these. For whatever reason, I decided to get just 50 or 59 even. I'm gonna have to pay like $280 on shipping to get these sent to me from wherever they're printed. And I gotta recant this a little bit, because I get both of these printed with Amazon KDP, because the thing you can't do with Printify or Printful or some of the other ones, you can't print on the inside. You can print on the outside. If you just wanted to create a journal, you could do that. But again, you have to pay for the printing, and then you have to pay out the nose for the shipping, unless you decide to go bulk and order enough to make it a little bit worth your while. You still have to figure out, well, is the price gonna be right? Am I gonna be able to get it at a decent enough price that when I sell it, it's gonna make sense for me to do the whole process? The other thing to consider with Printify is that they don't offer all of their products to be ordered in bulk. Only some of them can get that bulk pricing discount. I'll link to it in the description, but Printify actually provides you with a list of all the different items that they do provide in bulk. There's actually, when I'm looking at this right now, there's actually quite a few. Most of them are clothing oriented, which is actually most of what Printify does is clothing oriented stuff. But there's at least 6 or 5.5 pages of stuff here, so plenty to choose from if you're willing to go that route. Now, as an Amazon KDP user, you will get a little bit of discount just by being a KDP member. Like when I make these, if I were to buy one for myself, each one of these is about $5. That doesn't include the shipping, but if I wanted to buy one of these or buy 10 of these, then I'm gonna pay like that amount plus 10, plus 50, whatever. Again though, are you gonna be able to make that margin? My guess is you will, more so on the Amazon stuff versus like the Printify or Printful stuff. That's something you're gonna have to make a judgment call for yourself. Now the real question here is, should you be doing this? Like, should you be using all these services to print your print-on-demand product? And it's not just a question of price. I mean, yes, price is definitely a factor. If you ordered 60 of 10 different journals, it's still gonna run you about $5,000 or more dollars. So I guess it is about price, but it's not so much just about the margin, but whether you even have all that cash on hand to actually print on this stuff. The other thing is, do you have the proof of concept? If you went and bought these things and you put them out on a table at a show, are people gonna actually buy them? You may have some customer back data that says, yes, they'll buy these things, and you go and you print only the things that are the most popular and you put all those things out on the table. If you don't have any of that, well, then it's a little bit of a crapshoot. You know, you're throwing the dice on that one. I've sold pieces of art that I've tried to turn into prints after the fact, and they never sold. It just so happens that the piece that got sold just happened to match up with the right buyer at the right time. Sometimes those prints don't work that way. Sometimes the journals don't work that way. Sometimes the t-shirts don't work that way. A little over the week ago, I helped a buddy of mine out. He was running 2 different shows on the exact same day, and he asked me if I would run one of them for him. He puts out about 20 different shirts for these events because he knows these are the most popular shirts in his entire collection. There's about 4 or 5 of those shirts are go-tos. Like, they're definitely absolutely going to sell out or get really close to selling out on almost every single show. He bulks up on those the most. But on the one day of the event that I helped him out, 2 of those shirts hardly sold at all. Like, they got a lot of attention. People look at them like as they were hanging up, like, oh, that's funny, ha ha ha. But they didn't buy. So it's just one of these things. You just never know. You just never know what's going to sell. You really kind of have to get more of a bead on who it is that you're selling to and what they're buying and what, like what exactly is it you're trying to tap into. So just to recap, number 1, does the service print the thing that you want to get printed? Is it going to be able to do the job for you? Number 2, are you going to be able to make a good margin on those things to make it even worthwhile? Number 3, is it even going to make sense? Are you going to even be able to make the investment in all of that stuff in the first place? Because you're going to be dropping quite a bit of money just to get started. And number 4, are these products even going to sell? Once you figure out all those things, then you're good to go. Go sell the pants off of all of your products. And if anybody's interested, you might ask, what is Dave going to sell at these events? I'm going to have the journals. I'm going to have the scrapbook thing. I'm also going to have maybe some mugs. I don't know if I'm going to do shirts. You have to carry all different types of sizes and shirts. And obviously, the shirts themselves cost a lot of money. And of course, I'm going to have original art pieces, more like these small ones, not necessarily the big ones because they take up too much space and nobody's buying that thing for me at a craft show. We'll see what happens. I might have some prints there too. Prints don't ever tend to sell really well on my stuff. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. We'll just have to see. The truth is, I don't even know what shows I'm going to be doing next year. So that's something else we got to talk about in the future. But really right now, let's get to making some stuff. And like I said, I've got Rad Scrap Volume 2 coming out really soon. In the meantime, YouTube wants you to watch that one. Okay? Thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate you. Have a great time. I'll see you next time.